Well, I just rolled into Kentucky. Keith and Nick have already been here for a couple hours, and they've been out cruising around this piece trying to find some turkeys, and I got a picture earlier from Keith of a big gobbler track, so that's good. We're already on them a little bit, but we just left Alabama this morning. We're all split up right now, out scouting around and gonna try and get something roosted, and then we'll meet up back at camp later tonight. It's a fun state to hunt, that's for sure. But as you can see, I'm still getting rained on right now, so I'm just kind of waiting for that to pass by so I can get out and go down this road a little ways and see if I can get one to sound off. Still got about 30 minutes till dark, so as long as this little bit of rain passes through, I should be able to get out, see if I can get ears on one. We're not gonna be here for too terribly long. Nick's got a tag in Iowa for third season, which starts Wednesday, so me and him are gonna roll out of here and head up there probably on Tuesday, get up there and do a little bit of scouting around. So we only got 3 days to hunt here. We got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and we'll see what we can do. But I think this is one of my favorite states to hunt for turkeys, mostly because there's just tons of hardwoods and creek bottoms that you can work through, and most of the time you run into a lot of turkeys. At least that was our experience a couple years ago. We'll see how this year goes, but based on the sign that Keith already found, I think we're gonna be in good shape. We'll get out here in a minute and see if we can get one to gobble. There's a turkey track right there. Well, that didn't take long. I just left the car right there. Made it about 30 yards and there's a turkey track right there. Looked like a hen track from a day or two ago. Good start. Good start. Good start. That is not a turkey up there. That is a log. Bunch of scratching right here. Right along the edge of the road. You can see where all the leaves are turned up. All the way up this thing. Seems like there's some turkeys around. Don't know if I'll get one to gobble tonight or not, but I'm gonna stick it out for a little bit longer, see if I can get one to gobble. I'm about half mile from the truck now. Should be able to hear a long ways out through this stuff. You can see a good bit over there. Turkey just gobbled. Yes, sir. Yes. Pretty far down in there. Straight that way. I didn't hear it real loud, but definitely a turkey gobble. Are you ready to go yet, Keith? Not quite. I'm just glad to see you got the do-rag back on this morning.
Trying to kill. He sabotaged yesterday morning's hunt.
Yeah.
By not wearing it.
With the THP hat.
What was that all about? Often in my tent and then a bird got hung up.
Yeah.
Imagine that. It's opening morning here in the beautiful state of Kentucky. Seems like it's gonna be a pretty great morning. This is where Ted was listening last night. It's where he heard that bird just one time. So seems like as great a spot as any to start. Got a little bit of walk down this road. We're just gonna get over this creek and try to hear that one, but I'm sure we're gonna hear a couple more around. We're just gonna try to play it pretty loose and not get too committed to one thing. And kill today. We got all day to hunt.
Oh yeah.
Ready, boys?
Born ready.
Oh.
I just took a red.
I saw it. It looked a lot of fun.
Good.
Right to the dome.
Yeah, I heard that too. That's the one that I heard, I think. Straight out that way, wasn't it? Yeah. Heard that one out back here. Oh. There's a few you can gobble.
There's several over there. They're really starting to open up.
I know how far we have to go.
Because there's tons of tracks.
Yeah.
Scratched. How far do you think it was there?
Less than 150. I'm like, yeah, on that point.
Got turkeys gobbling kind of all around this point here. One that I heard was back this way. He's a little bit deeper. He might even be across the creek. So we're just sitting here because there's a ton of sign all along this road.
on top of the last high point on this ridge. There's a little saddle between us, and they're within a couple 100 yards. We've called some, and then just a couple minutes ago, a hen came up right in the middle of this saddle and just started cutting real hard at us. But those birds are still up there gobbling. There's definitely one tom. It sounds like there might be some jakes mixed in too, but they're just right up on that finger up there. They're not really moving at all. They got a good spot. See him, Ted? Coming at us. Probably been an hour and a half now, at least. Birds came down, made me twist around. They crossed the road like 45 or 50 yards up in front of us. Saw a strutter pass through, and then they got up on the other side of this hill that's behind us. I turned around a tree. Didn't even really have a shot up to there, but if one of them would have popped their heads, I would have. And the hen got up here to 10 or 15 yards and started putting, working right up to that top where they had come from. The tom stayed over the hill. It wasn't up with the hen, and they've just been gobbling still the whole time, working back up to that top. We were calling back to that hen, and it seemed to calm her down a little bit, and then they all just worked right back up to that top. So we're just not calling now. We're just gonna sit here, see what they do for a little bit. But if they make it over there, we can drop back over this hill behind us, make a big move, and get up above them on that point. I just don't know if we're gonna be able to get them pulled through this road, especially after what just happened. Awesome. Time's it, Nick?
8:43.
Whoa. It's already 8:45. We sat there for a couple hours, I guess. We haven't heard them in a couple minutes, I guess, but these birds that had come in moved right back up to that point. We drop onto this little bench. We're out of sight now. We're just going to cover a bunch of ground and get up on that point. We'll just get up there and see if we can do it safely. And if it doesn't work out, we'll just keep dealing cards to ourselves somewhere else, but likely still kill these things.
Another one down there, and then one over there, for sure.
Yeah, they're kind of gobbling all around us. Yeah, pretty decent day.
If you're into that kind of thing.
I am, personally. Ted and I just sat down at this tree. We just made this move on this bench. We sat down, got into setup before we called a few times, and they were right down in that same spot down this nose. And they gobbled like once or twice. Nick just dropped back down behind us. He's gonna try to just do some drop back on and just pull them right through this setup. They're only 100 yards out there at most. There they were. But, yeah. shoot that. I think the gig is up on that one. They came, you could hear them down here drumming. I gobbled a few times, probably like 50 yards right there. We could see him pop up right here. Kinda had a window, but this stuff, it's like pretty thick where I'm at. I think Ted was probably like close to a foot higher than me too. And I could see his head. It was pretty low, and then one time he popped up. But the whole time I could see his head, there was just a whole haze of stuff between me and him, and I couldn't, in clear conscience, throw a shot through that stuff. I don't really want to force one for any reason. Don't got a reason to. Super fun morning on this ridge though. It was a cool hunt. I don't really want to booger these things too much more. Keep calling at them because they clearly know something weird's going on. We had our chance with these ones. It just wasn't our bird. Might try to quietly retrieve Nick here, make it back to the car, and pick another ridge. I've heard a couple more birds gobbling while we've been sitting here. It's just a beautiful day to be alive.
I thought they were gonna come up there strutting.
Oh yeah.
And they're doing a ridge pop.
Kind of doing one of these.
Yeah. Jesus, you right?
Yeah.
Yep. I think so. I'm sure I heard it again. Yep, for sure.
Cruising down a low maintenance road here, calling before we hit these high knobs. We walked out a little bit. Ted hit a call down with the crystal down into this bowl, and the bird gobbled like, I think 3 different times. Me and Nick heard him before Ted did. We're gonna get up here and try him once more. He also might just be coming up, so we're gonna be careful.
Bunch of scratching up here. Risky. Risky business. As long as we didn't spook him to that, yeah.
It's like we don't really have a choice because we can't. They're just
Going down rock faces.
If we hear him gobble, I'll feel pretty decent.
Yeah, me too. Just gobble.
Yeah.
How far?
There's like that same spot right in that bench. Where's Nick? Okay, that's him.
This turkey's gobbling way down in this bottom. He's answering our call, but he's a good ways down in there, so we're gonna use his terrain, get on the backside, and loop in there a little bit closer.
Kind of doing this, aren't they? Yeah. Coming up this. Shift up a little.
Yeah, there's that big pine tree up there. I'd be able to get on.
I'm doing fast.
I think that's his fan right there in the screen. Pretty sure it is. Yeah, there's his head. Right there. Is everybody alright? Sounds like you might be straight up that hill almost.
Right beside us, dead hens. I mean, at least one hen.
Just gonna have to lay that gun over my knee. Just let this back this. You're coming up, Parakeet.
I know, I'm not gonna be able to swing over yet.
me?
Yeah, if you want.
Slowly, yeah. Sam's looking. Tell me when I can go. Close your ear, Dad. Close your ear, Dad. Yeah, you gotta close your ear, your left ear. I don't really have a good shot at all yet. I don't have a good shot at all yet. Can I shoot? I don't know if I can yet. Right when he steps out, I'm shooting.
Just wait for him to come out.
Yeah. Shooting. Oh, wait, go through it. I don't even know if I hit him. You didn't really act like it. I think I nailed that tree.
Good shot at him.
I mean, decent, yeah. They both, the first one came through, and he came through fast, and I saw the other one strut behind him. I had to let the first one pass, because they were both standing, like, head to head. The second one went through, and it was clear, and I had, like, 2 trees, and I had white head between it, but I don't know. It was a tight shot, but I felt more confident than I did this morning. Right before I shot or what?
Yeah, I thought you had 1, 2, 3.
I don't know what I would have been saying. Dang it. He flew off pretty good. He didn't even flop at all. Saw him just soar over there. Yeah. We ended up coming down at the point that they weren't on. We thought they were clean miss. Anyways, we ended up coming down this point. We thought they were in this bowl right here, which I mean they were generally, but then we got down here and realized they were gobbling from that far point over there. And we had to come up here and it's wide open woods right here. And we pop up and Ted saw him, saw one strutting a couple hundred yards down in there. And we sat here and I was facing up the hill, like I wasn't even facing towards them for most of the time. And then finally, Nick called at one point and they got fired back up and they were closing distance coming in. And then all of a sudden you just hear the turkeys are just moving up. Moved up into like 8 yards. The hens came up right beside us, and I had to shift over and shoot off of Ted's knee. The first one came through the one opening I had. 2 of them were standing side by side, and I had to let the first one get through that opening. And yeah, I just had a couple trees and head like this, and I don't know, I put it on and pulled, but I feel like I must have just hit stuff and a tree, probably.
I heard them coming. I was like, well, they're going to pop up right here. I thought I heard drumming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, okay. But I hear them drumming. I was like, it must be some winds coming up. And then, the wind blew, and I was like, I couldn't really hear it. And then it was, and I saw the top of one's head right over there. And I was just sitting up sideways against a tree. And I was like, oh, crap. So I laid down and got in the fetal position so it wouldn't just look like a human. So I was laying like this, and I'd been there for like 15 seconds, and pow.
It's just like, keep those. Oh, right there. They're standing like 15 yards away, scratching.
I was locked.
Oh, they were right there.
So just walked back up.
Yeah, I just looked over and just saw redhead pop up over the hill. That's cool. 35.
Oh, shit.
At least it's not a bad walk out of here.
Right. God dang it, dude. This morning.
It's cool hooked up.
Yeah, it was cool. see one down there walking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So y'all could, that whole time I was calling, y'all knew where they were at.
Generally. Because one of them split off.
I saw him and he started strutting. He got a fifth track and then he never came out. And all of a sudden they just started, when he got on real heavy is when they finally broke. And then the pins ended up here. And Keith was like, I'm like, just lay the gun on my knee. He just laid it right there and I just pulled my ear.
This morning I didn't force those shots.
Yeah.
Because in my head I was like, I didn't say it out loud because I didn't want to say it until this point, but I've never missed a bird until now.
Really?
So here we are.
Welcome. welcome to the nest.
Welcome to the club. Pretty good chance of getting on another.
Yeah. Get to hear those hens scratching
Things
still.
smell fantastic.
Yeah. Well, we're all still in pretty good spirits. Look down at that tree down there, realized pretty decent amount of my pattern hit the right side of that tree. Had a tight window, took it. I felt pretty decent about the shot, but I feel like I might have dropped into that tree pretty good. He flew off and he seems pretty fine. A lot of birds in here. We're gonna give him a rest, tear back out of here, maybe keep going down this road and just keep calling, keep doing our thing, find another batch of birds.
Oh, we're gonna find another one.
We're still hunting, boy.
Lots of these crawling around today.
Just gotta keep living, man.
All right, all right, all right.
L-I-V-I-N.
What you got there, Nick?
We got a little bit of wild turkey stir fry courtesy of our friend Mr. Keith Robinson here.
Well, both of us.
We even
Group
like
effort
spiced
out
it
there.
up a little bit, put a little rice on there.
Insane.
I think it's about to be really good.
Yeah.
We've been eating sandwiches and stuff for a few days. I think this is about to be the hitter. Don't forget your rice. It's a 2-plater for sure.
Little jet bowl rice action.
Never done the jet bowl rice and it looks like it worked.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Oh, please, sir.
Well, things kind of ended up shutting down a little bit this evening. We spent a little bit of time in a couple other spots. Walked a few miles, down a couple ridges this evening, found some sign, but didn't really end up hearing anything. Didn't find any really incredible sign to make us feel like we need to be going back in and checking out any of those areas either. It was a hot day after about 2:30 p.m. Things just seemed a little stagnant, but tomorrow we got a little bit of rain moving in the morning. I think we're just gonna take full advantage of that, get a little bit of extra sleep in the morning, edit this video up, and then we got some real good weather coming in for at least a couple days following that front. So the spirits are still high in camp, and I'm just really just looking forward to that food cooling down at this point. We'll probably see you guys back rolling around the hills here in a couple days, chasing birds, boy.
On the next one.
Right on.
Oh, it's like it's from a local hibachi.
Ted, get on it.
Okay.